should read it and understand it as a demonstration of what? A demonstration of Paul's loyalty to the law of Moses. And the law of Moses says that the offerings, the temple offerings, provide atonement for sin.
Okay, hang on just a sec. Okay, what does it mean that that the sacrifices provide atonement for sin? What he's neglecting here is all of the prophets. Isaiah is a perfect example, but there's plenty more, right? What does Isaiah say? Stop bringing your stinking sacrifices. Why? If they atone for sins, why would
their hearts were far from me?
Exactly.
That's one of the points I wanted to make. It's not the sacrifice that takes away sin.
Right.
It's God commands it. No doubt about that.
Right.
But that's not, and Hebrews gets into that. He says, I mean, even, I like to just remind people of Aaron, the first high priest. I mean, imagine God says, this is what you're going to do. You're going to go in, you're going to confess sin for your house on Day of Atonement. And you're going to go in and you're going to bring blood from a bull, etc. And you're not going to die if right. And then you're going to come back out, and then you're going to come back in with, concerning the sins of Israel. And the point is, if you don't come with the incense and with the blood, you will die. So Aaron's just like think of Aaron like the fear of God. Like,
right.
I've got to do this. But it's understanding that Aaron understood what confession of sin meant. He understood the problem of sin in the human heart. And so when he was confessing sins for himself and for his household, he knew what the problem of sin was for his house. And he confessed it to the Lord. And when it came to atoning for Israel, the same thing. He bore, as the high priest, he was aware of the sin of what was going on. And that's what's acceptable to God. Not like you point out, Caleb, Isaiah 1, they've got the temple, they've got a priesthood that knows how to they know how to slaughter an animal. They know there's not a problem of facility. They've got all the tools. They understand the language, but it's all, he says, the temple can't stand if the heart is wrong, right? And that's what happens with Solomon's temple being destroyed, and that's what happens in Yeshua's day. Not one stone will be left on another. But another aspect to this is that he misses is that even during the Passover, right after the resurrection, they were going back to the temple. Every day of the 7 days of unleavened bread, there is a sin offering that accompanies the burnt offerings. Even on Shavuot, there is a sin offering that accompanies the special offerings for Shavuot. It's a commanded sin offering. Same thing in Feast of Tabernacles. There are commanded sin offerings. The Nazirite vow, as part of the package, when the person enters in the vow, they understand that with the burnt offering, there's also a sin offering that is part of the package. And those offerings are part of our it's a language that God wants us to learn. I can't, in other words, if I'm going to approach God in the way that he has set in terms of, and it can be equally a man or a woman that does a Nazirite vow, and I'm going to step into this box and be set apart as a special kind of holy that equals that of the high priest. Remember, a man and woman can do this. Then part of that conversation with the Lord has to do with what a burnt offering is. What is a sin offering? It's like a curriculum for that. So what's funny here is that he says that when James tells Paul, okay, well, I've got you. You need to do a Nazirite vow. And that's going to somehow conflict with what Paul teaches, that Yeshua is the sin offering. It's not, it is an obligatory sin offering. It's not a sin offering. The sin offering of the Nazirite vow is not because the Nazirite sinned. It's the same thing when Mary gives birth to Yeshua. She has to offer a sin offering. When a woman has a child and then she goes to the temple on the, whatever, if it's shorter for a male, longer for a female, one of the offerings is a sin offering. But that doesn't mean she had committed a sin and has a corresponding confession.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Tell us your thoughts on this subject by leaving a comment in the comment section. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and enable those notifications. And we'll see you in the next video.